Good morning, student. Today we are going to see factors affecting CFSE. First factor is nature of central metal ion. This point is further subdivided into four subpoint. So first subpoint is same metal ion with different charges. In this case, CFSE is directly proportional to charge on central metal atom. Just see the example of hexa echo cobalt 2 plus and hexa echo cobalt 3 plus. In this case, number of d electron in hexa echo cobalt 2 is 7 and number of d electron in hexa echo cobalt 3 is 6, but the charge on central metal atom in first case it is 2 plus, while in second case it is 3 plus. And according to this point, your hexa echo cobalt 3 complex have high CFSE. Its CFSE value is 18,200 centimeter inverse, while the hexa echo cobalt 2 ion have CFSE value 9,300 centimeter. Student should make note that this 2 plus and 3 plus, it is the charge on your whole complex. It is not the charge on your central metal atom. In numerical part, we are going to see how to calculate charge on central metal atom. In second subpoint is different metal ions with the same charges. In this case, your CFSE value is inversely proportional to the number of d electron present in central metal ion. Just see the complex hexa echo copper 2 and hexa echo nickel 2. In this complexes, both central metal atom, that is cobalt 2 plus and nickel 2 plus, both have oxidation state 2 plus, but the number of d electron in cobalt 2 is 7 and number of d electron in nickel is 8. And from this point we know that CFSE is inversely proportional to number of d electrons. So cobalt 2 plus have less number of electron in d orbital. That's why its CFSE have high value. It is 9,300 centimeter, while in hexa echo nickel 2 plus its CFSE is 8,500 centimeter. The third sub point is different metal ion with the different charges. In this case, CFSE is directly proportional to the oxidation state of your metal ion. Oxidation state is nothing but the charge on central metal atom. So just see the example of hexa echo vanadium 2 and hexa echo copper 3. In this case, number of d electron in both the cases, that is vanadium 2 plus and chromium 3 plus, both have 3 electron in their central metal in their electronic configuration. But oxidation state, that is the charge on central metal atom, in vanadium it is 2 plus and in chromium it is 3 plus, and therefore chromium have high CFSE value as compared to your vanadium. So this complex have CFSE value 17,400 centimeter, while the first complex have CFSE value 12,400 centimeter inverse. Next point is quantum number of d electron. In this case, CFSE is directly proportional to the principal quantum number of the central metal atom. Just see these three complexes, that is hexaamine chromium 3, hexaamine rhodium 3 and hexaamine iridium 3. In this case, number of d electron, if we are going to calculate number of d electron in each metal atom, so each metal atom have 6 electron in d orbital. So in this case, but the quantum number of d subshell, if we see the quantum number of d subshell, so for chromium it is 3d orbital which have 6 electron. For rhodium it is the 4d orbital which possesses 6 electron, and for iridium it is the 5th d orbital, that is 5d orbital, which possesses the 6 electron. And from this point we directly say that iridium have highest CFSE value, and for this complex, that is hexaamine iridium 3 plus, the CFSE is 41,000 centimeter inverse. For rhodium it is 34,000 centimeter inverse, and for chromium it is 23,000 centimeter inverse. The second point which affects CFSE value is the nature of the ligand. That is, it is also known as spectrochemical series. In this case, CFSE is directly proportional to strength of the ligand. On the basis of relative power of a ligand to split the crystal field, ligands can arrange in a series. This series is known as generally spectrochemical series or Fazant-Tushida series. These two scientists basically arrange these ligands according to their CFSE value. So in this series we see that iodine have lesser value as compared to bromine. Bromine have lesser value as compared to fluorine. Chlorine and thiocyanate ligand generally have nearly equal value. Fluorine have lesser value as compared to your OH minus. OH minus have lesser value than water. Water have lesser value than your oxalato ion. Oxalato ion have lesser value as compared to your ammonia. Ammonia have lesser value as compared to your EN. EN have lesser value as compared to NO2. NO2 have lesser value as compared to cyanide, and cyanide have nearly equal value as compared to your CO. In this series, if we see, so we see that iodine have least CFSE value, and cyanide and your CO have highest CFSE value. Just see the example. In this example, in all this example, central metal ion is same, just the ligands are different. If we see bromine, in first case there are 6 ligands which are attached to your nickel. In second case, 6 chlorine ligand attached to your nickel. In third case, 6 aquo ligands are attached to your nickel, and in last case 6 ammonia ligands are attached to your nickel. So from this series we say that bromine have least value as compared to your chlorine. Chlorine have least value, less value as compared to your water, and water have less value as compared to your ammonia. So this compound, that is hexaamine nickel 2 plus, have highest CFSE, that is it have highest CFSE, that is 10,800 centimeter, and hexabromo nickel 2 plus have least CFSE, it is 7,000 centimeter inverse. Geometry of complex is also affecting CFSE value. If CFSE for square planar complex have higher value than your CFSE for your octahedral complexes. Octahedral complexes have higher CFSE value than the tetrahedral complexes. The CFSE for square planar complexes is 1.3 times of CFSE of your octahedral complexes, and CFSE of tetrahedral complexes is nearly about 0.45 times of your tetrahedral your octahedral complexes. Now we are going to see Jahn-Teller effect. It is the most important point in this chapter. There is always a question in the exam. So what is Jahn-Teller effect? Jahn-Teller theorem states that any non-linear molecular system possessing degenerate electronic state will be unstable, and it will undergo distortion to form a less symmetrical system and will remove degeneracy. So we are going to see what actually this statement means. So just see the example of hexa-aquo copper 2 plus complex. We know that copper have atomic number 29, therefore copper 2 plus can be that is equal to 27. So electronic configuration of copper can be written as argon 3d9 4s2. So in this complex, copper is present in 2 plus state. So copper 2 plus can be written as argon 3d9. So just see what happen when ligand approaches to your central metal atom. This is the 5d orbital which contain 9 electron. When ligand approaches to the central metal atom, the energy of these orbitals are increases, and at this stage they are in a degenerated state. Means all orbital are increased in energy, but splitting is not taking place here. When ligand orbitals are further come close to your central metal atom, these 5d orbital basically split up into two groups. First group is EG group and second group is T2G group. Now, since it is the octahedral complexes, your EG group contain dx square minus y square and dz square orbital, and your T2G set contain dxy, dyz and dxz orbital. Now this 9 electron we have to fill. So first we have to fill electron in lower energies orbital. So we are going to fill one by one. So first electron is put here, second is also putting here, third is also putting here. Since then we are going to put next electron here, that is fourth electron, then fifth, then sixth. Then we are going to put electron in your T2G orbital, in your EG orbital set, that is dx square minus y square. Then second electron is filled here. So total number of electron filled up to it is 8. Now ninth electron comes and pair this. Now there is two possible configuration can be written for this splitting. So second possibility is that the second electron can combine in dz square orbital just like this. So there are two possibilities, that is configuration 1 can contain dx square minus y square contain 2 electron and dz square contain 1 electron. In configuration 2, dx square minus y square contain 1 electron and dz square contain 2 electron. Now what happen in case number 1 and what happen in case number 2? If a pairing occur in your dx square minus y square orbital, so in this case the repulsion along the z axis, repulsion between central metal atom electron and ligand which are approaching from your z axis is less, and because of that the z distortion takes place, that is compression of the geometry take place, and we got this type of structure or this type of geometry. It is known as z distortion geometry or compression geometry. If two what happen when two electrons are combined in dz square orbital? In this case, this if your two electron comes in dz square orbital, so in this case these are two ligand which are comes from your z axis basically feels more repulsion as compared to your xy axis ligand, and because of that these two ligands are somewhat at higher distance as compared to ligands which are coming from your x and y axes, and it is known as z elongation geometry. It is seen that the configuration 2, that is this configuration, is more stable, and thus and because of that complex has geometry tetragonally distorted octahedral, that is elongation along the z axis geometry is prepared over your z distortion geometry, that is in this case compression geometry does not favor, elongation geometry is favored. In next class we are going to see some condition for Jahn-Teller distortion and other point. Thank you very much.